News with Gina Grad.
The News with Gina Grad.
I should point out that there's a quarantine show called Quarantine Cocktail Time every day at 5 p.m. Is that Pacific time on Paul's
LA time.
Yep,
up live.
Paul is going to make some cocktails and encourage viewers to donate to worthy charities. So that is your Instagram page at Paul Feig.
At Paul Feig, 7 days a week, every single day. We've got coming up our 44th show today. So
nice.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, somebody else who's contributing to the cause, Tom Hanks, might just save the world with his blood. He is since recovering from COVID-19 and is donating several pints of blood plasma. It contains antibodies produced by the immune system that specifically recognize and destroy the coronavirus. On Wednesday, wife Rita Wilson shared on social media a photo that we're looking at the donation center, and Tom Hanks tweeted a photo from last week's contribution. Doctors successfully treated some very critically ill patients with antibodies from people who recovered. Also, scientists believe those antibodies hold the secret to the vaccine. So,
Paul,
Tom Hanks,
I don't know if you can, Paul, can you get a message through to Tom Hanks if I give you one?
I actually am friends with Tom. I can do that.
Okay. Let's now he is, what is he? 63, 65? I don't know what his age is. 62?
Yeah. I mean, he looks amazing.
Right. Okay. So here's the message.
Yes.
He's 63 years of age.
Yeah.
He's officially America's new dad. Like he is his Q rating and his likability. If he was a president, he would be polling at 100%.
Yeah.
Everyone, this guy's a hero. He's been married to the same woman for 40 years. We are in love with Tom Hanks.
You think he's officially taken over from Cosby?
I don't know.
I do. I think it's official. And that's what I was going to say. When Bill Cosby was 63, he was riding pretty high too.
Oh,
okay.
This is a cautionary tale.
Honorary degrees.
You tell him this is coming from me, okay? Because he might not take it well coming from you, but you tell him when Bill Cosby was 63 years of age, there was no more beloved human being in America than Bill Cosby. I would say that Tom Hanks is right about at that status today. He must be watched. It is only downhill from here, and look no further than politicians or Woody Allen or whoever, Bill Cosby. They're dropping like flies.
That's the break point right there.
Okay.
We trust that plasma. Maybe that's the sort of, it's all been moving towards this moment when then we get overtaken by Tom Hanks's plasma.
If he's planning on roofing, if he's planning on roofing anybody or, auditioning some teenage girls on the casting couch or something, he really should watch himself.
You take that right off the schedule.
Yeah, take it off the schedule.
I'm calling Tom right after the show.
Yeah, what year would Bill Cosby, was Bill Cosby 84, 83? Like, would it just been 20 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was right in that early 80s because I very dumbly started an improv troupe, and the only time we could ever get a space was at this bowling alley nightclub, and it was 1984, and it was 8 o'clock on Thursday night was our spot when the Cosby Show was on, so like nobody ever showed up because he was that beloved.
The Cosby Show was so big that was your spot. That's interesting.
They literally.
All right, anyway, just tell Tom's coming from me.
Okay.
And it's coming from love.
Okay, good. No, I like that's fatherly advice from you for the father of our country. So that's nice. Mm-hmm. I look at you as kind of being the father of our country too, because you are
the absentee stepfather.
Voice I listen to.
Thank you.
Well, if you're hungry for some high-end cuts of beef, you might want to make your way over to a San Francisco food bank. Fox News reports that the family-owned Snake River Farms in Idaho has donated $2 million of American Wagyu steak, about 35,000 10-ounce cuts, to San Francisco food banks. The large donation, by the way, that's only a portion of what they donated. They donated $8 million in steak, of 200,000 steaks, but $2 million of that is the Wagyu. That is, of course, a city that's been hit very hard by COVID-19, like New York, Seattle, Los Angeles. The steaks were delivered to a warehouse in Fremont, California last week, where they're being cut and packaged before being sent to food banks. And the farm, which is, quote, one of the only beef companies in the world that personally touches every aspect of production from start to finish, they sell to very high-end restaurants. And, of course, they have a surplus. The restaurants are closed. The dining rooms are closed. And they don't want this meat to go to waste.
Look,
River's the real deal.
in terms of the look, I got nothing against the homeless, but hear me out.
But
Well,
However,
they're homeless. They can eat shit out of a can. We could take this stuff and make super high-end jerky that we could enjoy when they lift this whole process, right? I mean, so the jerky takes a little while to marinate and ferment or whatever you have to do. You have to dry it out, whatever. We could have some super high-end Wagyu jerky coming down the road. Or that homeless guy could have a full belly with our high-end steak, but all that guy's going to do is shoot up in the park and try to rape your daughter. You want him to have enough energy to do that?
You running for president this year?
That's right. I'm America's father.
I knew it.
Look, give them some army rations. Save the good stuff for us. I want high-end jerky.
you do make a good point. We don't want any of that B12 surging through their bodies to create crime and chaos.
That's right.
Wow.
And,
the superfood.
like there wasn't a problem with defecation in the streets already in San Francisco.
Well, those are some high-end dumps if they're coming out with labor.
Yeah, I know.
the dumps are selling for $5 a pound.
Right.
Well, someone is about to spend $800,000 for a day with Tom Brady. This is according to CNN. The six-time Super Bowl champion auctioned off a chance to experience his first home game as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer like nobody else. Large grossing package. It's called the All-In Challenge. That's the virtual fundraiser offering experiences with athletes and celebrities and corporations, of course, raising money for, to help during this coronavirus pandemic. And here's how the All-In Challenge described the experience with Tom Brady. This full quote. You'll get to join Tom in his historic and unprecedented experience by attending with three friends his first game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in addition to either a private dinner or a private workout with Tom himself. Choice is up to you. You also get his first game-used uniform. The auction for Brady's experience began at $50,000 on Tuesday. 32 bids later, $800,000. The winning fan's identity not revealed. Brady accepted the bid, and it's on.
Wow. All right, here's the caveat. You don't, first things first, you don't go work out with Tom Brady. You definitely go meal with Tom Brady. Because workout, he's going to be staring in a mirror doing, lunge squats the whole time. That could be anyone at your gym. But here's the problem. Here's what I would carve out. If I cut that check for $800,000, Brady, such a clean goddamn liver. He's going to be sitting across the table from you. You're going to have a martini. He's going to be drinking avocado milk. And my thing is, hey, bitch, for $800,000, we're going to get shit-faced.
We're drinking. Yeah.
I want you to get sloppy and tell me how hot Giselle is in the sack or their pussy stinks. I want to hear what a douche Belichick was. I want some stories, and we're not going to get them out of you on your smoothie. You got to get drunk.
Let's go to Paul Feig's Instagram and make some cocktails.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tom, if you want to come on, $8 is waiting for you, my friend.
So the going out to dinner with the celebrity's great, but you got to make sure they're a boozing celebrity because as soon as they get a couple of glasses of wine in them, and then you start asking them, what was Statham really like on the set of his body? Then we get some great stories.
Ironically, I'll be so boozed up, I'll tell you.
Right. He's like, Gronk is a total racist. Totally. The guy's in the Klan. Like,
Adam, when's the fundraiser to have dinner with you and work out with you?
My challenge to you, Adam. If you could provide a steak and a martini, we'll do it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can go out to dinner tonight, I'm in. I'm wide open to that stuff. I always just think to myself, oh, what the hell am I going to raise? Although I'm on Chris Laxamana, aren't we on Jeff Cesario's school's website to raise money for the school that his daughter goes to? And
that's right, biddingforgood.com.
And you can take a tour of my Paul Newman race car, warehouse and museum. If you
and you don't even have to stand 6 feet away from Adam. He doesn't care.
No, get in the car together.
Actually, he'll fireman carry you to the restaurant.
That's right. So, Mr. Feig, you're a very fashion-forward man, and we always enjoy what a natty dresser you are. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in this. Italian design studio Design Libero just released images of a prototype for an isolation bubble suit. It's fully equipped with solar-powered filters that purify the air within the bubbles and protect the wearer from contaminated droplets. I think we have a picture. There it is.
Oh, my.
A small backpack contains the filtration system, and the bubble suit looks like this clear plastic pill capsule that basically covers you from above your head to right at your knee. It has a zipper that connects the top of the bubble to the bottom, and I'm thinking this is what we're going to be wearing come 2021.
Wow. Don't the germs come in up through your legs, though? Or it looks like it's open on the bottom?
Unclear.
I'm very worried about that.
Yeah.
Leg germs.
Wow. And there's a new leader in the clubhouse of best places to fart. It used to be Mummy Sleeping Bag, and for years they were perennial all-star. No one could ever dethrone Mummy Sleeping Bag after some body heat had gotten it up to temperature. But now
this raises the bar.
This raises the bar.
It's blown up. Exactly. How do you not? Doesn't it get all steamy though from breathing? That's
yeah. I mean, there is a filtration system in there, but I don't see this for us.
You guys remember
getting rid of the fart, so I don't know.
You guys remember like after 9/11, it's like people who lived in New York who worked above the 20th floor were purchasing parachutes and zip lines, and it's this is kind of that, right? Like I don't know how practical you having a parachute is on the 34th floor, but God bless you. This is just that.
If you're going to sell now's the time.
Right. And what this looks like is one of those, 1950s fashion shows talking about what the future of fashion is going to be in our spacesuits. It's very, it's very funny, but you never know.
You know what?
Yeah.
I could end up with one of those.
The future, we always get the future wrong. Like when we go, this is what the future car is going to look like. The Futura Ford at 1957. And it's got fins and rocket blasters coming out of the back. And could you imagine if they just showed what the real future car was, a Toyota Prius, like a beige Toyota Prius. They just unveiled it in 1955. The future is here. And everyone went, what the fuck?
I know.
It's tan.
I know 100 years from now, everything will look the same. It's just our phones will be even smaller. So that's about it.
Yeah, they'll be implanted.
You look at those cars from like 1955 at the auto shows, and they had like fighter bubble canopies for each occupant, and fins and jets, and
they're rocket ships on wheels.
Like rocket ships, and the future is a Prius.
Yeah,
the cloth interior.
When will the Jetsons happen? When are we just pushing?
No, this is what that's the whole thing. It's the thing about the future, and I'm now really thinking about it, is it's austere. Like it doesn't have a lot of pomp and circumstance. It's like that's the whole thing about the future. There's it's nothing. It's muted.
Right.
Yes.
Do you remember the movie Peggy Sue Got Married?
Yeah, sure.
It was a grad family favorite, and the whole point was
Nick Cage,
and Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner, right.
And going from the 50s to the 80s, and when she's explaining everything is big now, the TVs are big, this is big, and now it's like no, honey. Now it's exactly the pendulum has swung the other way. Everything's tiny.
Well, that's the thing in movies is like phone technology. Because when's the last time you watched My Best Friend's Wedding? You're watching with some like teenagers like a few years ago, and she pulls out the giant flip phone, and they just could not stop laughing at that. It just ruined the whole movie for them.
Well, that's why they used to have that popular Twitter account, Modern Seinfeld. How none of the plots on Seinfeld would have worked now because there were no phones then. There were no cell phones.
Exactly.
So, okay, well, moving on to something sort of bizarre, and Adam, I feel like you may have a slightly different take than the rest of society. A California city's planning commissioner has resigned after he threw his cat in the air on a Zoom meeting where city officials also said he was drinking and using derogatory language. This is according to BuzzFeed, and we do have the clip. During the April 20th meeting, which took place via Zoom, the Vallejo planning commissioner, Chris Platzer, was asked if he had any comments regarding an agenda. I think this was about building a Costco, and this was his response to that.
If I'm allowed to make them.
Yes, this is the section where you can, Commissioner Platzer.
Okay, first I'd like to introduce my cat. And I would.
So he was he seemed maybe a couple of sheets to the wind. He then went on to sort of berate the rest of the people on the Zoom call. At one point he said, "I'm going to call bullshit on you little bitches."
Get that drop.
Apologize and resign. But I scanned through the 3-hour meeting and he seemed like he may have been a little out of it.
I had a cat. I've had a few cats when I was a kid, and one of the fun things I would do with the cat is throw the cat places, but I would get it. Well, they always land on their feet.
That's true.
But
you do it 9 times before they die.
If you had a low, like I had a cat that followed me around everywhere. So if I went up a ladder and went on the roof, it would crawl up the ladder and follow me. When I would jump over the fence into Colfax Elementary to play basketball, it would climb the fence and go over it. And I used to take her sometimes, and if there's a low, flat roof, like in my room in the backyard, I could throw her, and she'd fly up about 8 feet, but only come down about 6 inches or something and land on the roof. We used to do that all the time. I haven't thought about it in a million years. I think the other thing we used to do is put her in a laundry hamper, like on the roof, and then drop her in the hamper to, like, my stepdad, who would catch it. So the cats are pretty durable. You can definitely valuable. You can fire. Well, also we have this weird relationship with cats because nobody likes cats. But if a drunken supervisor throws one, then we need his head on a pike. Like, which is it? Do you like them or not? I feel
I personally like cats. I
love cats. It's his cat. He knows what his cat's capabilities are, and he understood that was well within the envelope of his cat's performance capabilities. That's right. So that's number one. But, if he was drunk and shouting slurs at people, then maybe he should get shit canned. I wouldn't do it just for the cat. He didn't get fired for the cat, did he?
No, I mean, that was part of part of the whole package, the whole drunken package.
Yes.
But that was the best clip, so we had
to
show
then who's going to be in charge of planning?
Who's going to build the Costco in Vallejo?
The cat is going to clear it. That would be the ultimate revenge if the cat took his seat.
That's exactly right. Petting a hairless human.
I got to tell you, like, we may think we're in trouble on, like, the national stage when it comes to politicians. I mean, you take a look at Trump or you take a look at Pelosi and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Who are these? What's going on? But when you take a look at some of the low-level people, count your fucking lucky stars.
Yeah.
Like, some of these lower-level people are insane. At least we have, like, functionally insane over in Washington. The local guys just seem flat out insane, a lot of them.
Yeah, now we have proof.
Yep.
Well, we knew there was going to be more of this, and there is. There are people that are being filmed at home, on the news that aren't wearing pants, and then they accidentally pull to a wide angle, and we see it. And, of course, there's the other one. A Spanish news anchor was accused of cheating on his TV star girlfriend when viewers spotted a semi-naked woman walk behind him while he was filming a live segment.
Oh.
There she is. According to the New York Post, this is 41-year-old Alfonso Merlos, who was hosting a news report from his home amid the coronavirus lockdown, and this scantily clad gal just saunters behind him in the background shot. Some viewers pointed out that woman is not his girlfriend, Marta Lopez, who apparently was a former star of Big Brother. Merlos remained silent for days, didn't talk about it, then finally apologized to his girlfriend during an appearance on a news show. The partially clothed woman was later identified as another journalist, Alexia Rivas, and she says they've been dating for several weeks. So there may have been a little crossover.
Well, a couple things. He's signing on with a popped collar, as far as I can tell. So you got to know this guy's a serial cheater. The guy pops his collar. Look at Feig over there, all buttoned down. He's got his Windsor.
Right.
He's a faithful man.
That is not a cheater. That's right. You pop the collar, you're Lothario. So we got that. In terms of, these guys are reporters. I feel like this is the opposite of what you would want in a journalistic reporter. You know what I mean? Like walking around naked, not knowing the camera was on. Like we may need you
Yeah,
to
you
go
need
and
your head on a
deep
swivel
cover.
when you're a
Yeah.
reporter.
Yeah, like we need to be doing a little. You need to be a situational awareness needs to be a little bit
Yeah.
higher when you're a reporter, right?
Can't be taken by surprise like that.
Journalist.
What
Yeah.
was
Somebody in them, a naked person in that mirror too. I guess you're so focused on how you look.
Right.
is the person standing behind him? Is it a
She's
reflection?
reflected in the mirror behind him.
Yeah, let's look at that again.
I think that's what it seemed like, or was that a doorway?
Let's see.
I can't.
Oh,
From the story, it says walked into the background of the shot.
oh, yeah. I think you know what. I think you're right. Yeah.
And then what happened? What were you saying about a reality star?
So his actual girlfriend, at the time anyway,
Oh.
was from Big Brother. Her name is Marta Lopez. That's not Marta Lopez. That's another journalist.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I would believe you if you said it was Marta Lopez. Like if you just showed me the shot and went, "That's not Marta Lopez," I'd go, "Well, that's not Marta Lopez."
Adam, everyone knows Marta Lopez has a shocking pink mohawk.
Oh, she does?
No, I have no
Oh.
idea.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Well, something that our in-house nutritionist, Vinnie Tortorich, would not be pleased to hear, hundreds of thousands of pounds of potatoes are at risk unless Belgians eat more fries and quick. This is according to CNBC. And they are very serious about this. Frozen potatoes account for 75% of Belgium's potato processing capacity, and demand's been crushed because restaurants are closed and freezers are full and nobody's buying these potatoes. So Belgium's industry faces a possible loss of $135.5 million if this surplus isn't eaten. So the head of the potato industry says they're working with supermarkets to see if they can launch this potato eating campaign. And they're asking people of Belgium during the stay-at-home order to eat, where is it? I think it's like, eat fries twice a week so we can mow through some of this potato surplus and not lose that money.
Come on, gang, we're going to Belgium. Everybody.
That's reasonable.
Right now.
Yes. Oh.
Can we judge a society by what they dip their fries into?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
can.
I'd say I think so.
Because we used to give, I don't know where, Canada, England, we gave someone a lot of shit for dipping them in mayonnaise, but then we started dipping ours in ranch, and we may have bumped them off the top of the pyramid of Dumbos, right?
Right.
What's worse? Ranch is dumber than mayonnaise, right?
Yeah, well, they're pretty equal. Anything white, I don't think is worth.
Interesting.
Here's my tip, because I like ketchup, but my favorite thing to dip a fry into is cocktail sauce.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
has zip.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
just
great
think
idea.
If I go to a barbecue joint, I like a little barbecue sauce to dip them into, but the cocktail's a little zesty. In the do-yourself-a-favor department, everything, the good-for-you version or the better-for-you version of everything sometimes tastes like shit, but in the ketchup department, that no sugar, no corn syrup, just ketchup, pure ketchup, whatever, in a glass bottle, do yourselves a favor. There really is no difference. You cannot tell the difference.
That's the way to go.
Stuff. Yeah, just get the good stuff that doesn't have the corn syrup in it, and you'll appreciate it. So what do they do in Belgium? What do they put on their fries? This is a big question. And another reason yes.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to answer that for you.
Well, because what happens is if you're going to give away a metric ton of French fries to every citizen of Belgium, whoever's making the sauce they dip it in is you better buy stock in that company too, right?
That's right. I never had mayonnaise on French fries until I went to Belgium, and everything, this is just anecdotal, but everything seems to be mayonnaise based. So it's like a curry mayonnaise or a tomato mayonnaise or all of these different mayonnaise based, but the curry one seems to be pretty popular in Belgium.
Good to know.
Yeah,
I feel that way about, it's got to be cultural, because there's nothing better than barbecued potato chips to me. But when I hear about ketchup potato chips, I go, ooh, gross. And I have no idea.
Canada? Oh.
Yeah.
But they're good. I'm sure they're good. I don't know why I draw that distinction.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
You got it. Well, if you are really dying to go out to dinner and you are really into social distancing, there is one restaurant on the planet that you can go to. It's a Swedish restaurant, and it takes social distancing very seriously. The owners, Linda Carlson and chef Rasmus Persson, have declared it the only COVID-safe restaurant in the world. And their restaurant, called Board for Inn, which is table for one. We have a picture. Exists in the middle of a farm field. No wait staff. They serve one person sitting at one table. There's a picnic basket that is zip-lined over to you. You eat it.
This looks like a George Harrison album cover from like 76.
That's right. This is a pay what you can situation. It's a 3-course vegetarian meal, and you go in, you enjoy your meal alone in the middle of a field, and you get the hell out.
But the basket is covered in COVID. So.
Right.
Yeah. This is pure performance art, right? Nobody's.
It'd be fun.
God, I've really been craving that booth, that high back booth in the corner with the steak and the martini and the good buddies.
The red leather and oh my God, yes, that's the thing I miss the most. Is a nice cold martini in one of those places.
I completely concur, and I don't know how to do it. I've done a couple of secret dates with my buddies where I'm like, you go to the steakhouse, take out the porterhouse, get the sides, I'll make the martinis, and meet me at the warehouse at the car museum.
Clandestine.
It's good, but it ain't that. Like when that steak is coming out of off the grill, it's still sizzling when it hits the table, and when you drive it in from Beverly Hills into Glendale, like it's fine, but it's not that. It's not that experience, and as it turns out, I'm not great at making martinis either.
Paul,
Paul,
as a martini man, what's your recipe, and have you done that on your Instagram page?
Yeah, well, it was the very, very first show I did, but I haven't figured out the technology, so I wasn't able to record it. So it was probably my best show. It was all about the martini, but it only exists in my phone right now. But
the quarantini.
Well, I actually invented a quarantine.
I was going to say that word's getting around now.
Yeah, no, I made my own recipe for a quarantini, which is it's gin, sake, Cointreau, and then some lemon orange bitters. And it's
really.
I invented.
And shaken, stirred. How do we do it?
Shake. Normally, I stir my martinis, or actually, my favorite martini in the world is a Duke's martini, which is based on the Duke's bar in London. And what you do is you freeze the glass, you freeze the bottle of gin, you put a little bit of vermouth in the frozen glass, swirl it around, dump it on the ground, or in the frozen gin, and put a big twist so it never touches ice. It's really strong, and they too will knock you on your ass, but they're the best way to have a martini.
Is there a difference between shaken and not stirred? Like, what is the difference?
Well, the difference is when you shake a martini, you really dilute it. You just water it down with all the ice chips and everything. And also, I'm not one of these guys, you bruise the gin. But at the same time, you just really knock it around a lot so it comes out all cloudy. And it just dilutes it is really what it does.
What's a good, just straight ahead gin, if it is gin or vodka martini for people that are listening right now that aren't real equipped to do this, but just a real basic shot at it?
Get your favorite gin or vodka. Honestly, a gin martini is a real martini. A vodka martini is a fake martini. But
well
it's
put,
okay.
Paul.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then just get a shaker with ice or a mixing glass or whatever. Fill it with ice. Put in a hint of a tiny drop of vermouth. Fill it up the rest with gin for what'll fit in your glass, and just stir it for like 3 to 4 minutes. Get it ice cold, because the only time martini is not good is when it's not cold enough. So if you get kind of a lukewarm martini, it's not good. And if I may, I do have a gin coming out, my friends.
Oh, you do? Let's talk. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's called.
And wait, how do we garnish it? Is it olive? Are we
I'm
lemon?
I'm a twist guy. What you do is you cut a really big twist. Meaning don't cut a slice of lemon. Cut the peel, and then what you do is. Everybody thinks that the flavor from the lemon comes from the inside, but it's actually for a martini. It's the outside. Yeah,
oil.
The oil. You squeeze make it like a canoe. Squeeze it over the top. It'll release this oil, and then you run it around the edge of the glass and drop it in. And then it just got that. Oh, it's fantastic.
I feel like a junkie right now. Who do I got to kill to get one of these fucking martinis? Yeah.
So what's your vodka?
Yeah. Oh, gin.
Gin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gin. It's called Ardingstall's gin. It's actually in a few stores here right now. It's in the House of Ambrose and the Duvan. We're all over Canada now. We just sold out in Canada. But I'm a gin fanatic, and for years been trying to get my own going, and now we did it. Oh, wow. Hey, there's a picture of me and my bottle. But I'll get you a bottle of it.
We would love it. I don't know, and I don't know how well you know Chris Morgan from all the Fast and Furious and Hobbs and Shaw and stuff that, but that guy's done hour-long dissertations with me about about martinis, and you two ought to get together after this quarantine and talk martinis, because he loves the science of it, and I do. To me, I just love the nuance of it. I don't know if I could taste the difference between one that was made this way or one that was made that way, but there's something, again, it's one of those, what's great about this country. It's why you should love a Ferrari or a Rolex. It's like you'll never drive that car to its full capability. The Rolex that is good for 1,000 meters, you'll barely go in your fucking swimming pool with, but somebody made it able to do that. And you should appreciate them taking the time to want to do that. And when I hear people talk about, I don't even separate a beautiful car, beautiful watch, and a beautiful martini. It's like, I love the nuance and the science.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, first of all, Adam, when this is all done and we can sit down together, I'm gonna make you several different martinis, and I'm gonna show you the difference. Because one of the greatest things I ever had happen was when I was in Scotland on my honeymoon 25 years ago. I always heard about single malt scotch, and I felt the same way. It's like, well, they all taste the same. And so I went into the bar one day and I said to this, the bartender, I said, like, all right, give me a lesson on scotch. And he put out 6 glasses and he poured 6 different regions. And after that, I was like, I completely get it. This tastes completely different than that, this and that. So it is, but you have to really get somebody to walk you through the nuance of it. Mm-hmm. So let me be your tour guide through booze.
I'm going to take that inflatable skirt walking bubble, and I'm going to put a funnel on the top of it. I'm going to hook up basically a beer bong, and I'm just going to waddle over to Paul's house, and then you just dump different ones on my head, and I'll just suck it through a car nose.
You're on, my friend.
I cannot wait.
You'll be like a gerbil drinking out of that, the straw that comes down.
All right, did we bring it home, Gina Grad?
We'll bring it home right now. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.